This is Robin. In this video tutorial, this will be a first of a series of video tutorials on mapping dangerous felons and sex offenders in a given area, generating a map that locates the exact positions of those felons and offenders. The first video tutorial, which is this one, we will describe to you and show you a basic map that we will show later how to produce, and we're going to show you some basic steps to derive this map. In the second video tutorial, we will show you how to take the data from the Department of Corrections in a format that is provided by them that needs to be reformatted such that the reformatted data can be used in a geographic information system. And then a follow-on video tutorial describing how to generate and update an attribute table that's associated with the dangerous felons and sex offender map. This video tutorial is designed for law enforcement organizations, particularly in McCurtain County, including the County Sheriff's Office, municipalities, and other interested parties who have a need for a map of these types of felons and sex offenders, such as schools. To begin, we want to show the viewer a basic map that you will eventually be able to create and show you some of the ingredients of that map and some of the information contained in that map so that you can associate this map as you learn the procedures and steps to generate the map. Here you see a map of sex offenders and dangerous felons, and their exact locations are points on the map that are in green. This map is a map of McCurtain County, and on this map are various layers of information, and you can see the layers of information that are on the left hand side of the screen. Let's review some of that information. The first part of the information is the boundary of McCurtain County, and that is checked. So when we check it, the boundary is there. If you uncheck it, it goes away. We have what we call school districts, and if we uncheck it, the school districts go away. And school districts are important in the sex offender maps because schools have rules, regs, and laws associated with the location of sex offenders. We also have zip codes there, the various zip codes. And these zip codes are important on a map. When we start locating many of these sex offenders, most offenders do not have what we call a alphanumeric address. They have a post office box, or they have a rural route number, and that does not provide you a specific location. So we have to come up with a process and procedure to establish a specific point on the map for those sex offenders. So the zip codes are important because in their address will be a zip code. So if they have a certain zip code, we know that they will live in that particular area. All right, let me go on down to the roads. You can see the roads. That's important on how to get there, and the transportation network that they might use. Here you can see the felons and sex offenders that are listed. And we can go on down, and we have what we call parcel owners, and I can click on that, and you have all of the parcels of the county, and you can overlay these parcels with these sex offenders and find out what parcel they live on and who the owner of the property. As you might know, that most sex offenders do not own property. Maybe some do, but most do not, and so you would like to know what property they are living on once you locate them. And then finally, we have the aerial photography, and I'll unclick that, and now you have a map absent of the photography. So I'll reconnect that and the photography back. So now you have a complete map. All right. Also on this map, you can go to your particular felons or sex offenders and get a file or an attribute table of that particular sex offender. And I will demonstrate this. We highlight the area that is felons and sex offenders that we have located, and we can go to our identifier, click on our identifier, and we can go to any one of these and get a information about that one. Here's one in Broken Bow. We'll click on that, and here we can see the name of the person, his first name, when he was registered, his address, etc. And also there's information concerning his charge. In this particular one, it does not have a charge. So let's try another one and see if it has a charge. Alright, here is another one. His location, when he registered, sexual battery is the charge that he has. So you can look at each of these sex offenders and felons and get the charges that are imposed or derived from each of the offenders. Another aspect of this, we can review the entire file of the sex offenders by going to our attribute table and bring that up, and you can see the complete list of our sex offenders and all of the information that regarding that particular sex offender. So here's the entire list. So you can see that this is very convenient to use, and when a new sex offender is established that you receive from the Department of Corrections, you can add him to the list, and then when he comes in to register, you can work with him to find the exact location on a map and place that on the map, and then you will be able to have a comprehensive listing of your sex offenders and their locations and all of the related information of that particular sex offender in and linked together, and then having a complete map that you can analyze, but not only analyze and use, but to share with those parties who need this map, such as school districts and maybe other law enforcement entities. This concludes this first video tutorial, and we're ready for the second video tutorial, in which we review the processes and procedures to generate these maps. This concludes this discussion.